Okay guys, we have Karen Huneke in the house again. Again, we have just brought her into town. We're like, give us as many videos as you possibly can. Just pump them out. Just become a machine. She's not going home tonight. She's gonna do as many as possible. And there was a really cool set. I actually sent it to you and I'm like, I need this. And that was like a neon,
kind of neon-y, snakeskin-y, reptile feel to it.
Yes, so, yeah. I'm getting ready to go on vacation. I really want these for myself. I do not get to have them, but she's gonna do them for us. So I can watch and learn and do it myself. Possibly.
You can do that.
Maybe.
It is that easy. You can do it yourself.
Perfect. I am super excited about the set. Let's check it out. All right, so we're gonna do some really fun summer neon nails using some of our Mission Control gel paints and some of our really sparkly confettis. So let's get going. So we're gonna start by just pushing back our cuticles. Anytime you're doing a full set, you always wanna make sure you get those cuticles pushed back and cleaned up so that you don't get any lifting issues. We're gonna come in with our electric file with our medium sanding band. So we're gonna come up around that cuticle, clean up that cuticle, and then just follow through at a diagonal through the rest of the body of the nail just to lightly remove the shine from the nail. I'm just gonna dust off all of the dust, and then we're gonna use our swipe, and that is our cleanser. And that is gonna help to take off any germs, any bacteria that may be on the nail, and change the pH of the nail so all of our products that we put on top really adhere well. Next product we're gonna use is our protein bond. Protein bond works kind of like a double-sided tape, so it's going to stick down to that natural nail, but it's going to leave a tacky surface for our product to adhere to. It's going to give us really good bond, really good adhesion for our product to the nail. So if I were doing a full set, I would go through all 10 nails with one coat, and then I would come back and do a second coat just for that added insurance, just to make sure that we don't have any lifting issues with our clients. I'm going to get my form on the nail, and I like to take that little center tab out of the middle, place it on the back just for a little bit more support with our form, give it a little bit more durability there. We're going to come in, pinch our tabs together as evenly and close as we can, and just slightly pinch at the end. I like to open up the top, that little perforation up there. That way it gives me a little bit more flexibility when putting my form on. I'm just going to pop it right up underneath our nail, and we're going to do more of an active length nail today, so we're going to pinch that down just a little bit more to get a little bit more curve under our active length nail. I'm going to use Speed Clear today, so we're going to pick up just a smaller size pearl, because when we're doing a shorter, more active length nail, you don't need a really large pearl, so that's about the right size. I'm just going to drain out a little bit of that extra liquid out of my brush so that my product doesn't run all over the form. I'm going to press that down. I'm going to press it out from one side to the other. Bring it up into my corners using the edge of my brush. And just press all the way across. Same thing on the other side. Press it up into that corner. Right up in there. Now if you want to keep it square, you can keep it square. Otherwise, if you want to kind of bring those edges in a little bit, we'll make a little bit more of a tapered, maybe an almond shape. Just depends on what you and your clients want to do. At this point, I'm going to angle the finger downward so that gravity is going to work with me instead of against me. I'm going to pick up a little bit of a larger pearl, and we're going to drop that right at the cuticle area. Press down at the cuticle, just kind of tapping that all the way around. Let that product flow down the nail. Once it gets to that arch, you can kind of lift up on that finger and blend out that arch area. You want to make sure that you're just blending the edge of it. You're not pulling all of that product forward, because we want to keep that arch in the nail. We're going to pick up another pearl, drop that right down at the free edge. This one I'm going to drain out just a little bit of that liquid so it's not running. I'm going to turn my brush around and I'm going to blend back up into that arch. And once it's blended, I'm going to bring it forward again, and again just blend out the edge of it, keeping your brush again at that angle up to the arch. That way your free edge is going to get nice and thin and tapered, and you're not going to lose that arch. All right, so while that one's setting, I'm gonna go ahead and prep the second one. Now again, if you were doing a full set, you would do all of your prep on all 10 nails all at once. So we'll give that one a little bit of time to dry. Again, doing the same prep that we just did. Removing the shine from the nail, we'll go ahead and dust off. Use a little bit of our swipe to clean off that nail. Come back in again with our protein bond. And we'll again do 2 coats of the protein bond just for that added insurance. Okay. Again, normally you want to make sure that nail is a little bit drier and then come back in with your second coat. Same thing, we're going to take our form, put that little tab on the back, pinch our form together as close as we can, open up the top, and then we'll slide it underneath the nail. Again, we'll give our form just a little bit of a pinch, get a little bit more of a taper to that nail. Now on this nail, what we're going to add in is some of our confettis, and we're also going to add in a little bit of glitter using our bubble wand from the Slick Pour collection. And I'm just going to scoop out a few of them so that I can use a couple of different colors, and I can kind of pick and choose which ones I want to add where. Okay, so for this nail, we're going to again start with our speed clear, and I'm going to build out just a really thin extension. Because when you're doing designs that have the design in the nail rather than on the nail, you want to make that bottom layer nice and thin so that you can build the product up on top and get your structure and durability from the top. So again, just a very thin extension. Again, using the edge of your brush to bring that product up into the corners. Tuck it nice and tight up in there. And then bring your shape into a little bit more of an almond. Now at this point, I'm going to add just a little bit of clear onto that natural nail, just so when I do put my glitters on there, if I go to change out my design, I don't have to file all the way down to that natural nail. I can just file down to that really thin layer of clear and not do any damage to that natural nail. Okay. Now I can come back in with a little bit of my glitter and just get that to kind of blend through the nail. If you want to bring it all the way back to the cuticle, you can do that. I kind of like that faded look where it just kind of fades out. So that way, again, if you're doing a fill on these nails in a couple of weeks, all you'd have to do is just fill with the clear in the back, and you don't have to worry about that glitter. So now, as our product is still a little bit tacky, I'm going to pick up a few of those confettis and just kind of place them wherever I want to. If you feel like they're not quite sticking down in, go ahead and turn your brush around, use the back of your brush, just poke them in there. Press them down in. If you feel like your product is starting to set up, go ahead and pick up just a little bit more of your clear. Just brush that right over the nail, and then you can come back in, pick up a few more of your confettis, and drop those wherever you need to. Now in a design like this, you can use as much or as little confetti as you want. Sometimes I like to do, just place a few here and there, just individually. I'm going to pick up just a couple of my smaller pieces, just to kind of end that design and fade it out. All right, I'm going to fill in one little spot over on the side, and maybe one down on the edge. Just grab a couple more in there. And a couple more in there. All right, once you've got your confettis right where you want them, I kind of give them just one more quick press down, make sure that nothing's poking up too much. And then we'll cap the whole nail in our speed clear. So again, we're going to come back in, pick up a larger pearl, and drop that right down by the cuticle area. Press out our cuticle, and let that product flow. Just blend out the edge of that arch. We'll come back in with a second pearl. And blend back up. Blending forward just to cap all of our confettis and give us a nice arch to the nail. All right. Okay, so at this point our acrylics are both set, so we're going to go ahead and file them off camera and then we'll show you the design. Okay, so we've got both of our nails all filed out. We'll go ahead and start in on the design. I'm going to start with my protein bond. And again, this is something that you could do, this design you could do over the top of just a natural nail as a gel manicure. Just go ahead and add a coat of your ManiQ Base coat and then go into your design just like we're going to do here. I'm going to start with our ManiQ Black. And I like to polish down from about halfway through the nail so that way I can get my edges and then I don't get extra buildup of polish at the end of the nail. And then just work back towards your cuticle. And polish through the nail. So go ahead and put the hand into the light, minimum 30 seconds, just enough to freeze it into place, but as long as you're working on the other hand, that's about as much time as you would need to freeze that one into place. We'll come back in with our second coat just to give us good full coverage. Same thing, brush halfway down the nail and then work back towards your cuticle. If you do get any product on the skin, just go ahead and clean it up before you get it into the light. That way you get a nice crisp edge around. Again, back into the light, minimum 30 seconds while you're working on the other hand. I'm going to use our ManiQ White. And I'm going to put a little bit of that onto our tile. I'm going to grab my dotting tool. And then I'm going to go in with our ManiQ Base coat. Now it depends on how you like to work. I like to use the ManiQ Base. You could also use the stain resistant top coat, just our regular ManiQ top coat, personal preference. I like the consistency of the base coat because I feel like it's going to help our white to blend just a little bit but not too much. So I'm just going to put a nice thin layer of our ManiQ Base on, and before we go into the light, I'm going to start doing little dots of our white wherever we want to on the nail. You can make up your own design, you can go with a pattern, or you can just put random dots wherever you want to. So having that ManiQ Base underneath is just going to help our dots spread a little bit, give it a little bit more dimension than just regular polka dots. Now the longer you let this sit, the more the dots are going to spread. So if you like it where it is, pop it into the light. If you want them to move just a little bit more, keep it outside the light for a little bit and let them move where you want them to move. So you can kind of see they're starting to just spread out a little bit and fill in the extra space in between. Go ahead and put them back into the light. Again, I'm going to do just a quick 30-second cure to freeze it into place, and then we'll go into our colors. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our 3 Mission Control gel paints. We've got Solar, Taser, and Mega Jam. And I'm going to take a little bit of our ManiQ top coat, and we're going to make a sheer color out of each. So I'm going to put 3 dots of our colors, and then we're going to mix just a small amount of each of the Mission Control paints. Okay, so again, we'll start with our Solar. take just a small amount and really get that mixed in well. So again, this is going to make a sheer color rather than a solid color. A little bit of the color goes a long way, but as you're mixing, if you just spread just a very thin amount of it, you'll see that it becomes sheer on your palette. So that'll kind of show you how much you want. If you feel like you need to add more color, you can add more color if you want a little bit more color to it. And we'll go ahead and mix our Taser. Again, just a small amount. And then last we'll do Mega Jam. I'm just kind of spreading it back and forth so that we don't get any air bubbles in it. All right. Then we'll go ahead and start our fade. I like to start at the cuticle area first. It's a personal preference. If you'd prefer to start at the free edge and work back, that's totally up to you. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of my yellow, my sheer yellow, and brush that on. And I'm just going to kind of feather the edge of it so that it just kind of blends out a little bit. If you feel like you need a little bit more, go ahead and add a little bit more. And again, just feather out that edge. And I'll just do a quick 10-second cure, just enough to freeze it into place. Okay, so we'll go ahead into our next color, which is Taser. Same thing, we'll just drop that right on the nail. Kind of blend out from side to side. And then I'm just going to turn my brush around and just kind of feather it back. Now, if you feel like it's not quite blending, or if you need a little bit more yellow to make it blend a little bit better, go ahead and pick up just a little bit and just kind of blend them together. Okay. Same thing at the base, just feather out that end. Again, another quick 10-second cure. And we'll finish with our third color, Mega Jam, right at that end. And then again, feather it back to blend up to the orange. Okay, at this point, if you feel like you need any more color to fill in anywhere, you can go ahead and grab a little bit more. I think I'm going to add just a little bit of that orange right down and blend it in with the pink. Again, another quick 10-second cure. And then we'll go ahead and top coat. And I'll top coat this next one along with it. We just want to make sure that we do another coat of the protein bond. And that's going to help our nail look ultra sheer. And again, I'm just going back in with my ManiQ top coat. And we'll finish up the nails in the light, and this final cure is going to be a full 1-minute cure. That way all of the layers are going to cure all the way through. All right, come back in with our ManiQ cleanser. We're going to give the nails a final wipe, clean off that tacky surface, and we'll show you the finished product.
Okay, guys, I love this set. I definitely need it for my vacation coming up.
They're great vacation nails. Yeah.
Okay, so if I made you stay till midnight tonight, how much would this set cost me?
Well, if I'm staying till midnight, that's my after hours charge.
Oh,
but
it's triple.
Exactly. But I'll tell you kind of my breakdown, what I would charge for this set.
Okay.
So just knowing this, I am not in LA. So all of you asking non-LA prices, this is what I charge. Okay.
Hold it. Where are you from?
Minnesota.
Okay.
Now, I am in a big rural area, Twin Cities metro area. It's a big area. But I don't charge the LA prices. So what my breakdown would be for your full set.
Okay.
For the one solid color, just a kind of a, just an active length nail would start at 85.
Okay, that's great.
Okay. On top of that, we also added in 2 confettis into the nail. So I charge $5 per confetti. Okay. We also added on our snakeskin design, we added a ManiQ color, a gel polish color. We added the dots on top, and then we added 3 sheer colors that we custom mixed. Okay. So for all of those, the color would be an additional $5, the dots would be additional $5, and each of the translucent mixes would be an additional $5. And again, this is for the full set, not just per nail, but for the full set. So for a total of 120.
That's really good. See, I like this because you're right. We get a lot of people who are like, I couldn't charge that in the area I was in. Now, I was in Northern California, Redden, which is, you know, not a big city, and I got good prices. You're also, that's a really good income. That's, you know, so for people that are sitting there saying, I can't get that.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. I love it. I think it's a beautiful design. Do I get a friend's discount? I'll take that as a no.
You always tell me that you only charge, or you don't charge your mom, but you charge anybody else, so sorry.
Well worth it. I want the set. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Young Nails is committed to giving you the best nail education in the world. Check out more of our videos. Head right over here. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and do that by clicking right over here.